Hello everyone, welcome to the Beauty School. My name is Franco and today we are joined by Candice Wooster. Welcome to the potty. Well, it's not really the potty, but let's just pretend it's the potty. So, Candice is our expert in lashes, but not just that. She can actually do makeup artistry, she can do spray tanning, she can do massage therapy, she can do waxing and tinting, and much, much more. She even has a certificate in Russian eyelash extensions, which for all I know might be a pretty normal thing, but I just like the sound of it. So I just wanted to put that in there. Yeah, it sounds fancy, eh? So Candice, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah, this is exciting. I'm usually in front of the camera, but it's not usually like this, so this is nice.
Yeah, you've done a bunch of videos in front of camera, but I think it's the first time we focus more on yourself.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that we did it eventually because you are quite an expert, eh?
Somewhat.
Yeah, not too bad. So let's jump straight into it. So if you don't mind, would you just tell me how is it that you got into the beauty space?
So in year 10, I did work experience at a day spa. I was obsessed with skin because I always struggled with my skin as a teenager. And I learned a lot just from that week of work experience. And so I originally got into beauty therapy because I wanted to learn more about skin and selfishly probably to treat my own skin. But doing it, I realized actually I wanted to make other people feel really good.
Yeah.
So I really sort of started down the path of skin and it just eventuated from there where I went down different paths and found what I really love and what I specialize in now.
That's interesting. I actually could use a bit of help with the skin part as well.
Okay, well, you know where I am.
Yeah. I'm in the perfect place.
Yes.
Yeah, I got that as well, where I had like a lot of kids when we go through puberty, we have like a lot of acne and stuff like that, and you start investigating what you can do. And a lot of the things are basic, it's just like being healthy and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff that you learn on the way is pretty interesting as well. So what other jobs have you done before you started in the beauty school?
Lots. And I think if you're in the industry, you'll know that this is pretty common, that you do sort of chop and change. You're ever evolving and growing and learning. So you're finding new pathways. I started working at just the local salon, and that did everything from facials to massage to manicure and pedicures. I then went to a skin clinic. I then saw a job available for a training and assessing role, which I didn't have the qualification for, but they were hiring without their qualification. So I jumped on it.
Nice.
Which
good opportunity.
I had to get it once I was there, but that changed everything because I realized how much I loved training and teaching others, and that was just so rewarding. So in amongst that, I've always done that part-time whilst working hands-on still. So I worked at places like Indota and Pure Indulgence, so your day spas. I've always sort of done a bit of my own work. Once I found lashes, I've always done that from home. And then worked at many different RTOs, so your registered training organisations, from private to your TAFEs. And I ended up here, which I've been here for quite some time now. So I started in COVID. I think it was the start, I can't remember exactly, but it was 2020. And I was working for an RTO, which they weren't set up to work online, but obviously they had no other option. I couldn't run my business either. So our hours were decreased, and I just happened to look for another job just to see what else is out there, and this just sounded absolutely perfect. You know, at the time it was quite a young business, and I really wanted to put my stamp on something and really have an input and make a change. And as soon as I met the team here, I thought, yep, this is it. And you would know, like everyone here is lots of fun and lovely, and it was really, really nice change.
No, I felt the same thing. Like when you come here, you see the environment is really, really different to the one you get in most offices. Like everyone's full of energy, everyone's really passionate about what they're doing, and And that's really good to see.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
A lot of high achievers here, if you might say so.
Definitely.
That actually sounds pretty similar to what Bianca was saying, because we did an interview with Bianca, which you can watch on our channel, but she also started around the COVID pandemic and for similar reasons as well. And she said that when she started here, she started realizing how much you don't know, in a sense. Like, you think like you're on top of the world, you think you know everything, and then you join a place where part of your role is teaching, and by teaching also learning other stuff, and you start really learning much more than you thought was even possible. No,
Definitely.
Did you get any something like that?
I agree in a sense. Like, obviously with Bianca, we've got different experience in training. I've been a trainer since I was 22, and you know, I'm mid-30s now, so I've been doing it for a very long time. But when I first started, I totally understand that you're learning, because you've got to break everything back down.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of just, you got a client in front of you, just do it. You don't think about what you're doing. You've actually got to break it down to the tiniest little cellular level of learning, so that your students can understand and then start from the ground up. So that part, when you first become a trainer, is challenging. But for me, starting with the beauty school was more probably sitting in front of a computer, because I've always been in a classroom, or I've always been in a salon situation. And, you know, I started here working as a tutor and creating courses, and a lot of that was sitting and working with a computer, which I've never really done. So that was challenging to me, because I like to be hands-on and practical. So now I've sort of moved away from that, and I'm purely in course production and course creation. So I'm sort of back hands-on, which is fun.
Yeah, you've shown your face in many different courses, eh?
Yeah, I'm spread across.
Yeah. So for you, it was more of a, like, bring in your kind of your subconscious knowledge into more of a conscious idea, like really learning what it is that you know and how to explain it to people, in a sense.
That is,
I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but yeah.
No, that's it. It's trying to figure out a way for someone to understand what you're trying to tell them, and you don't know that until you're actually in it. Because I'm sure the first few classes I ever taught, I jumped straight in, and it was a manicure class that I was teaching, my first ever class, and I'm sure it was terrible. I thought that I was, you know, showing them the step by step, but I hadn't broken it down. So I don't know how much they got out of that class, but you know, as I've gone along, definitely you just get a bit of a process, and you get a bit of a you just mentally sort of know where you're starting and the pathway to go down, and the end goal, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, it's been, in a sense, I mean, I haven't been here as long as you, obviously, but in a sense it's been similar for me, like building some structure into a lot of the stuff that you just do without thinking, right? And I heard that once I heard that you don't really know something until you feel like you could explain it to a 5-year-old. Is that your experience a little bit here as well?
Yeah. I personally find that teaching, which is definitely part of my role, I've learned so much more than when I was working in a salon. And it's funny, because even though I'm teaching this knowledge, I'm learning as I'm going, because, you know, when you're in a classroom, say, and you're learning it, most of it goes over your head, and you're like, I'm not going to need to know that. But when you have to teach, you have to relearn it and then put it out there. And so I've become such a better therapist by being a teacher. So that goes for this job as well. Yeah,
I can imagine that must be pretty fulfilling, eh?
Definitely. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So after having worked in so many different areas of the industry, why lashes? Why do you love lashes so much specifically?
Well, I'll take you back. So, I was 21, I think, and there was no such thing as eyelash extensions. I went to a beauty expo and I saw this stand and they were doing eyelash extensions. And I thought it was so far-fetched, and I thought, absolutely, that is ridiculous. But I need something that no one else is doing.
Yeah.
So I purchased the kit. I was given a DVD to watch and to learn off. And I can't even imagine what those sets of lashes looked like. But it just took off because no one else in the area was doing them. And I had a simple ad up on Gumtree, and I was flat out busy.
Wow.
And prior to that, I just found it really hard to build a clientele because I was doing waxing and I was doing nails and I was doing facials, and I didn't specialize in anything. And everyone else was offering that. So what made me special out of everyone else? And when I found the lashes, I found that is what made me special. At the time, I mean, it's flooded now, a lot of people do lashes. At the time, no one else did them, and I could find my niche. So I just made sure I just kept it up. I went and did more training. I did classic lashes for a long period of time, built up a really solid clientele. Then when volumes came out, I went and did volumes. But ultimately what I loved is the instant gratification that you get. So the client sits up off the bed, they look in the mirror, and it's instant. It's wow. Compared to facials, you know, the skin feels nice, they've got a bit of a glow. You don't ultimately see those results until down the track. So yeah, lashes, it was just that it was a reward. It gave back to me, but also I was making my client feel great. And I could build a business off it. And I've been doing lashes now for 16 years. I'm still lashing. It's taken a toll on my body because back then I was not trained properly to look after my posture and things like that. So now I have my set clients. I don't take on new clients, but I still get that little bit of, I don't know, what's the word? Happiness
like
from
fulfillment.
Just fulfillment. I get to do this, which is what I love, teaching, creating new courses, but I also still got my hands, my thumb on the pulse, I guess you could say, and it's just with those clients. Ultimately, it's just that reward, that instant gratification, the happiness, and I don't know what clients feel as soon as they look at themselves in the mirror. They can see it and they feel beautiful. So yeah, there's many reasons why I love lashing, but yeah, they're the top ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty wholesome, eh?
I guess I should add, the other thing is with lashing, it's hard and it's so rewarding that, you know, because I was going to give up that many times in the early stage. And this is what I always tell students. There's going to come times where you're not going to want to keep going because it's too hard. You don't feel like you can do it. It's not working. And I pushed through that. And I'm proud of myself that I did because 16 years down the track, I'm still lashing. And not everyone can because it is quite a hard skill to pick up. Yeah,
it looks hard. Like you see people, it's like almost microscopic how they have to focus on every single lash. And stuff can go really wrong as well, or no? Yeah,
if you're not trained properly, if you're not focusing, you know, obviously we're working around the eye area. If the client is opening their eye, while you've got the tweezers are super sharp. You're working with really strong glue, so you could glue the eyes shut. Allergic reactions, they happen. So lots of things can go wrong. However, doing the right course, having the right trainers or tutors to help you along the way, you figure out ways to deal with things when they do go awry, because they will. I've had many things go wrong over the years, and as long as you deal with them in the correct way, then it'll be fine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for at the beauty school. Just had to put that shameless plug in there. So it must be twice as satisfying when you're doing something that's hard and you push through it and you get the satisfaction in the face of the client, I can imagine.
Yeah.
They must be really happy. And you get, so what you're saying is you can see a bit more of a clear before and after compared to other things, other areas in the beauty industry.
Definitely.
Cool.
Most of the time the clients will go, wow,
Yeah.
And you always hope that it's a good wow and not a whoa.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Which that has definitely happened. You know, they think they want to go really long and full, and the moment they look in the mirror, they go, oh, wow. Then you know that they're probably going to come back to change it up.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you get a good response.
Oh, that's good. And you feel like just like patting yourself on the shoulder.
Yes.
So what other advice would you have to any young students, maybe to yourself, if you were just starting, besides just pushing through it and keep going? What other advice would you have?
I've thought about this because I didn't want to make it so generic, and I knew you were going to ask this question. So the biggest thing that I struggled with, and I don't think it's spoken about enough, is comparing yourself to other people. That could be the way you lash, the way you do nails, whatever it may be. But also what I personally struggled with, because I've always been, with my personality, quite reserved. So for me to build clientele, I had to be really good at what I did, because I knew my personality wasn't going to sell it. I'm not going to be this vivacious, outgoing, loud kind of person. So I had to be good at what I did. But I found, in one particular instance, when I was working in a salon with other people who did have that really charismatic personality, the clients were wanting to book in with them. And that was really hard, because I'm like, I'm your trainer. Like, I'm here and I'm making you better at lashes, and you're taking all my clients, and I could not get it. But what I was finding at the time, and this is, you know, when you're younger, you tend to do this, you try and be someone you're not. I was trying to be this loud, outgoing, vivacious person, just like they were. And it wasn't authentic. And the clients know. People know, you know, energy says it all. It took me losing a lot of clients because I was trying to be someone I wasn't. Even though I was doing a nice job, it wasn't enough to get the client back into my room rather than the other rooms. So I guess my biggest takeaway, and the biggest thing I've learnt as I've got older, is to just be yourself. And whether that be that you are more reserved, you are more keep to yourself, but you do a fantastic job, but you'll build the connections and it will be right, and you'll have the clients that are right for you. These clients that are coming and they want that loud, outgoing person, they're not right for you anyway. Like, you know, I'll use myself as an example. When I've gone to get lashes, I went to a lady and she was so outgoing, and I thought, this lady's fun and she does a beautiful job. And I went back again the next time and I'm like, okay, she doesn't stop talking. Okay, that's fine. She's still lovely. Went back the third time and, you know, she was talking about some of her other clients, and I thought, okay, this is I don't like this. I don't like this. And she's not for me. And I've got to realize that, you know, turn the tables, and I've got to get my clients that are right for me. So biggest lesson is to just be authentically yourself. The right people will come to you. You make sure you're upskilling. You're keeping your thumb on the pulse. You are wanting to do it genuinely a good job, not just for the money. If you're in it just for the money, I'm telling you, people are going to see straight through that. Do it because it makes you feel good, the client's feeling good. Yeah, the money's a bonus. And if you're running a business, obviously, you know, you've got to make ends meet. But be yourself. And that is the biggest takeaway for me anyway. I hope someone else can take that. I wish someone had told me that way back. Like, just be you.
Wow.
Yeah,
you did a good job. That was definitely not a generic answer. I couldn't have scripted that better myself. Wow, well done. So I think that's the best spot we can leave it at, probably. Thank you so much for coming, Candice. How are you feeling after having done the questions?
Good. Like I said, with my personality, this is awkward. I can be in front of a camera all day talking beauty, but talking about myself is a little awkward. So I'm glad it's over, but thank you. Thank you for having me.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to everyone at home watching. If you have enjoyed this video and you thought you got some value out of it, we would really appreciate it if you could give us a like down below. If you want to watch more videos of this sort, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. And yeah, if you have any comments, any questions you'd like to know, leave them down below. We literally have a team of experts ready to answer any questions you may have. So thanks again, Candice, for coming today. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.